Hello, I am Dr. Claire Monroe, a men's aging and performance specialist. Many older men assume that attracting a younger woman requires competing with younger men in areas like endless stamina or superficial trends. The truth is, female attraction, especially across a significant age gap, is heavily governed by distinct psychological anchors that mature men are uniquely positioned to provide. Today, we are discussing 3 specific cognitive approaches that create intense, sustained interest from younger women. Stay with me until the third one because that is the psychological trigger that completely shifts the power dynamic. And it is something most men actively avoid doing out of fear. If you're a man over 40 and you have been dealing with a sudden drop in your own drive, physical response, or overall vitality, I left something in the pinned comment that may explain what is actually going on beneath the surface. Take a look before we continue. When men find themselves interested in a much younger woman, the immediate instinct is often to overcompensate. You might have tried mirroring her energy levels, adopting younger communication styles, or constantly trying to prove your physical relevance. When these efforts feel forced and inevitably fall flat, it is incredibly easy to retreat, assume the age gap is an impossible barrier, and feel a deep sense of frustration regarding your own appeal. I need you to understand that this disconnect is not a failure of your character or a symptom of your age. You are simply playing the wrong game. You are trying to speak a language of youthful energy that she already has access to, rather than leveraging the psychological stability and contrast that she is unconsciously seeking. Women are biologically wired to seek distinct markers of security, emotional control, and direction, especially when looking at older partners. When you understand how to communicate these markers, the age difference stops being a liability and becomes your greatest asset. And that is exactly what this video is about. The first psychological anchor is the power of unbothered emotional containment. Younger men are often emotionally reactive. They are easily provoked, quick to argue, and transparent about their insecurities. To a younger woman, this constant emotional fluctuation is exhausting. A mature man creates a powerful psychological pull by remaining entirely unreactive to drama or provocation. This is not about being cold or indifferent. It is about demonstrating a highly regulated nervous system. When she tests boundaries or introduces chaos, and you respond with calm, deliberate silence or a simple, steady gaze, you are communicating profound psychological stability. Biologically, this signals to her that you are a safe harbor, capable of handling stress without crumbling. It creates a stark contrast to her peers. She will quickly become fascinated by your emotional control because it provides an evolutionary sense of security that she cannot find in men her own age. The second approach involves shifting the focus from pursuit to selective access. Most men, regardless of age, operate from a position of pursuit, constantly seeking a woman's attention and validating her presence. If you are an older man pursuing a younger woman with the same eager energy as a 20-year-old, you immediately devalue your position. The shift happens when you make your time and attention a scarce, highly guarded resource. You do not need to be unavailable, you need to be selective. When you do spend time with her, give her your complete, undivided focus. But outside of those moments, you must be visibly engaged in a life, a career, and pursuits that are independent of her. This triggers a powerful psychological mechanism called the scarcity heuristic. The human brain values what is rare and difficult to obtain. By controlling access to your time and energy, you force her to qualify herself to you, rather than the other way around. She begins to obsess over earning your attention precisely because you are not freely giving it away. The third trigger is the most effective, yet it is the one most older men struggle with. It is the willingness to walk away and clearly articulate your boundaries. There is a deeply ingrained fear that if an older man sets strict boundaries with a younger woman, she will simply leave for someone more accommodating. This fear leads to men tolerating disrespect or compromising their own values just to keep her around. However, the exact opposite is true in female psychology. A man who is genuinely willing to walk away from a connection that does not serve him demonstrates absolute abundance and self-worth. When you calmly communicate a boundary and show that you are entirely prepared to leave if that boundary is crossed, it creates a massive spike in respect and attraction. It shatters the illusion that you are desperate or simply grateful for her attention. This willingness to enforce your own standards is the ultimate display of masculine strength, and it is deeply intoxicating to a woman who is used to men constantly bending to her will. Understanding these psychological anchors is crucial, but they are entirely ineffective if your physical reality does not match your psychological posturing. You cannot project unbothered, calm, and strong boundaries if your own body is failing you behind closed doors. Maintaining this dynamic requires your endocrine system to support your confidence. If your free testosterone is depleted or your vascular health is compromising your physical performance, that underlying anxiety will bleed into your interactions. The confidence to enforce boundaries and control access stems directly from knowing your body functions exactly as it should. We have just explored the power of emotional containment, the psychology of selective access, and the necessity of enforcing strict boundaries. The male mind and body must operate in unison to project true authority. For years, you might have felt outpaced because you were fighting on the wrong battlefield. Now you have information most men will never have. Use it. Leave a comment. Which of these psychological approaches do you already practice and which surprised you the most? This is a medical conversation, not a performance evaluation. The protocol I recommend to address the physical side of this equation, the hormonal balance and vascular readiness, is detailed in the pinned comment. It is there whenever you are ready to ensure your body matches the confidence you project.